Welcome to The Explainer. We're about to dive into a really fascinating worldview, one that connects something as personal as marriage to the fate of entire nations and a huge global shift that's supposedly on the horizon. And believe it or not, it all kicks off with a single question. So this is the question from our source material that really gets the ball rolling. And the answer, wow, it opens up this entire philosophy where every single one of us, and even whole countries, have a specific rank, a level, if you will. And with that comes a big lesson we're all supposed to be learning on our way to finding our true purpose. All right, so before we can even begin to tackle that whole marriage question, we've got to wrap our heads around a core idea. It's the foundation for everything else, really. It's a system of spiritual and intellectual rank called Gepsu. So what is Gyapsu? Well, according to the source, think of it like an invisible operating system running in the background of reality. And it's not about how much money you have or your job title. Nope. It's all about your level of consciousness. And here's the crucial part. These levels aren't fixed. The idea is that right now, everyone is in a state of ascension. We're all in the middle of leveling up, so to speak. Okay, so this system is broken down into three main tiers. Pretty straightforward. You've got your upper class at the top. These are the leaders, the big picture visionaries. Then there's the middle class, the supporters who actually help make that vision a reality. And finally, the lower class, which is the foundation. They're the ones who support the whole structure from the ground up. And the key thing here is that every single tier has a totally vital role to play. Now, this is what I find really fascinating. It's how the system defines rewards. It's got nothing to do with money. It's all about what you earn through your contribution. So the leaders, they earn reverence. The people in the middle, the supporters, they earn respect. And the foundation, they earn praise for doing that absolutely essential work. So in this worldview, every single role gets its own unique and necessary kind of recognition. It's a different way of looking at value.
Okay, get ready because this is where the whole idea just scales up, big time. We're not just talking about individuals anymore. The source takes this concept of Jutsu and its lessons and applies it to an entire country. And here's the central metaphor. South Korea is a school, a grand school for leaders. I mean, just think about that for a second. It's not just a country, it's a university with a very specific major, creating the wise leaders that humanity is going to need down the road. And if you look at it that way, the nation's whole history, all the struggles, all the victories, that's the curriculum. And this really hammers the point home. In this school, you don't just get a high-ranking government job. You enroll in an advanced course. The presidency isn't a position, it's presidential studies. And the final exam? Well, that's often navigating some immense public crisis or scrutiny. It's seen as a necessary lesson, even if it's a really painful one. So what's the end goal here? What does graduation from this school look like? Well, the purpose is to create what are called dotong gunja. You could translate that as wise sages or completed beings. These are the people who have passed all those tough courses, learned the hard lessons, and are now ready to step up and guide not just their own country, but the whole world through what's coming next. And yeah, about that what's coming next, this period of immense change isn't some abstract thing in the distant future. According to the source, it is right around the corner, and that's why these leaders from the School of Korea are supposedly needed so urgently. The source gets incredibly specific here. It points to 1 year, 2026. This is circled on the calendar as a massive turning point for all of humanity. We're not just talking about another year passing. This is framed as the threshold, the very beginning of a new chapter for everyone. And let's be clear, we're not talking about minor tweaks here. The word used is reform, or even overturning, a complete shakeup of everything we think we know. The prediction is that the power structures we live with, our economic systems, even our deepest beliefs, they're all going to be thrown into a kind of chaos. And out of that, humanity will be forced to find a totally new way forward. So, according to this philosophy, the major world powers you see here, the US, China, Russia, India, and even big religious institutions, they're all basically speeding towards a wall. They're on a collision course with this radical change because the source argues their current systems are just out of gas. They've run their course. They don't have a viable exit strategy, no new vision to guide them through the chaos that's supposedly coming. Okay, so now that we've set this massive cosmic and geopolitical stage, we can finally circle all the way back to where we started. We can finally tackle that original question about marriage and see how it fits into this brave new world. And here it is, the big shift in what marriage is all about. In the past, marriage was basically a contract. It was about survival, family, keeping society going as it was. But in this new era that's coming, the whole purpose gets flipped on its head. It becomes a partnership for shared research. It's about two people teaming up to actively figure out and build a new way for all of us to live. And when you look at it through this lens, the hesitation that a lot of young people have about marriage today, it starts to make a lot of sense. It's not that they're rejecting partnership. It's out there rejecting an old, outdated model. They're not looking for someone to just settle down with and repeat the patterns of their parents. They're looking for a co-researcher, a true partner to help build a new future with. So when you step back, this philosophy really reframes, well, everything. Our jobs, our countries, our most intimate relationships, they're all seen as part of a curriculum. Every single challenge is just a lesson designed to help us level up. Which really leaves us all with one big question to chew on, doesn't it? In this grand school of life, what's the ultimate lesson you're here to learn?